Hey friends, it's Ione. Today's video in the Let's Talk About Race discussion series is about how in America, mixed race doesn't exist. That was something that I noticed when I first moved to the US. I have a white parent and a black parent, and I am mixed race. In America, you are black. People who have parents of both races cannot identify as being as both, and I just found it such an odd thing. I'm going to tell you a story about when I went to get my green card. I was in an office, I had to get my biometrics taken to get my green card for the US. And I was filling out the application form and I took it over to one of the people working in the office, and where we put race, in England you can have mixed, white and black Caribbean, which I've always ticked in the UK, but in the US that doesn't exist. And so I ticked the Caucasian box and the African American box, or the black box, or whatever it said. And the guy looked at the application form, he laughed at me and he said, "You're not white," and he crossed out the white. And it was really interesting for me because I was like, what are you talking about? It asked what my race is, I'm mixed. He's like, yeah, but you're black. And this was a black guy saying it, so it wasn't like, I didn't feel like he was being racist in any way. It was just his opinion as fact. And this was the time when Obama was president, and I was like, you do know there's like a mixed race president right now? And he's like, yeah, well, and kind of just brushed off the conversation. He's like, well, you can only tick one box. And I was like, okay, well, I'll tick the other box then and not say. And it was just such an interesting, fascinating thing for me. Just, you know, that still in America, this, I guess it comes from this black drop rule, where if you had an eighth black, you were considered black in the US during sort of slavery and after that. And I guess I just don't live by those definitions. I am not conditioned to be put into a box based on what quite backwards ways of thinking many years ago. A while ago, I also made a video about when Taye Diggs, an actor, wanted his son to be able to identify as mixed race. He is black, he had a white partner, their kid was mixed race, and there was this huge uproar about it, you know. He hates, you know, he's just ashamed of himself because he's black, he's with a white woman because he doesn't like black people, he hates himself, and like, this is a lot of the stuff coming from black people themselves about him. And just for me, why can a person who is half black and half white not be able to identify as both of those things? Because in the opinions of others, they believe in this whole black drop rule, which was just a made up story by people years ago. That's not like a fact of life. It's not a fact of science. It's just something that people have said. Another thing that I do want to touch on is, why is it important for mixed race people to be able to identify with both? I was raised by a white woman in England, so when people label me as black, they're making a lot of assumptions about me and my upbringing and who I am, and oftentimes that's incorrect. And I just think that rather than looking at a human being, labeling them for the color of their skin, making a bunch of assumptions about who they are, why don't we just first stop to get to know a person and ask them and talk to them? We just stop having to put people into check boxes and just get to know the person for who they are and learn about their family and learn about their upbringing rather than make judgments and assumptions. Thanks for listening.